Charlie, for the listener, if you like, who's probably sitting there, potentially in a job they don't like, in a job that's making them feel not so great, what would the sort of the first indicators of that for you, and what would you sort of suggest that they do to start thinking about it differently?
So it's a great question. This is one of the biggest areas I find for mental health, in particular for myself, that people kind of skip over, is understanding yourself and recognizing when you are struggling with something, because there's nothing wrong with struggling with something. We all do all the time. Mental health is a big old spectrum of balancing beam that you need to figure out. What makes you feel good, what makes you feel less like yourself. So for me, there were really key signs. I love exercise. I love staying in shape, or trying to stay in shape, because I like eating so much. And I wasn't exercising at all. I had no motivation to. I had a lack of energy for anything out of work or going to the pub afterwards with friends or colleagues. I started realizing that my life became a bit more of a routine, where I was doing the same things over and over again, living for the weekend, and then praying that the weekend wouldn't finish and have to go back. People call it the Sunday fear, right? I had that even more so, because I was working in temporary recruitment, and 10 o'clock on a Sunday was often the time you get a load of messages saying that they're not going into their job tomorrow, which obviously meant that I was going to be in trouble because I wasn't fulfilling the needs of the client. So yeah, things to look out for certainly are a lack of energy, a lack of focus, a lack of passion for the things that you loved all your life. So I love things like rugby, watching films, going out camping. I didn't want to do any of those things. I basically shut myself off and became the recruiter who went to the pub afterwards. So if you notice changes in your behavior like that, there's usually something behind it. And so for me, I created a system of what I call now triggers, trends, and action. So I looked at what were my triggers, like what was causing me to feel. So if I started noticing those feelings, what was it that made it happen? It was work for me. And then I looked at the trends. It was work over a long period of time. Then it started affecting my personal life. And then I went, okay, well, what's the action? Well, in my case, it was to quit my job, start something I'm passionate about, and actually go and try and fix my own problem. So yeah, that's what I'd look out for: changes in behavior, and predominantly a lack of energy or passion that you previously had.
Cheers, Charlie. What's really interesting when you interview people who are sort of emerging in their careers, and is that they take so much on board thinking it's normal. So like you said, there was a temptation there for you to just think, well, is this what the world of work is all about? That I have no life outside work, that I do lose my passions and my interests and the things that I'm excited about normally, because I'm assuming that's what working life is all about. And without any sort of exterior perspective on that, it can feel like, okay, I've just got to knuckle down and get on with it.